Waiting for the stream. I don't have my headphones on. Oh, this is really bad. Thankfully, I have my own video muted, so I don't ever have to worry about it. Never gonna have to worry about it. 'Cause here I am, opening Cupid. I really don't like starting streams when I don't have the, I really don't like starting streams when I have, what am I doing? Yes. When I don't have the, without being like super prepared. But, I'm doing it today, and I have been doing it. It's just, I have a lot of like anxious energy, you know? It's very nerve-wracking knowing that there's a hurricane very, very close to you, and it's moving so slowly that it's gonna flood wherever it hits. It's just very nerve-wracking because you don't know where it's gonna go because it's going so slowly. Oh, what is this? Hello, what does that have to say? This computer is displaying graphics slowly. That's, I didn't even know this existed. Continue. Okay. That was a random warning. What do you mean? My graphics aren't up to date. Let's see. Why am I not hearing any music? Oh, you're muted. There we go. I thought I had to do something with that. Again, I'm not expecting anyone to drop by today. This is not one of my more popular. And by more popular, I mean like no one watches this. Only a few people watch this, but I really like this game. I really, really enjoy it, and I really want to get all the endings. And I'm not about to do. Editing is fun. Okay, editing is a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. It's just very tedious to do when it comes to doing things like Cupid, because I edit out all of my bad takes, so to say. So it's just a lot of me repeating myself and having to listen to myself just flub over and over again. So it gets a little bit tedious. So this is Cupid, a visual novel. For those of you who don't know, this is a visual novel. Visual novels are games in which you're basically reading a story with a picture in the background. An animated picture in the background. Very minimal animation, depending on the visual novel. And sometimes there is voice acting. A lot of the times there isn't, like in this game. And you get to make decisions in this game. They're very minimal, but they are extremely impactful. I've played this game twice now. Once is on my channel and it's going up on my channel. That one was a mixture of good and bad decisions I made. Good and bad decisions. Good choices and bad choices. Mostly, a majority of them were good, but enough bad that it got me a different ending. I have done an all good run. I mean an all bad run, so I got the worst ending, and now I'm going through an all good run, trying to choose all the right option, all the good decisions, which is, let me tell you, in this game, really hard to decide which one is a good and which one is a bad. Because they're, you know, you can't really tell which one is good and which one is bad. So, without further ado, before, you know, a storm comes, the lights go out, the internet goes out, really a slew of things that could happen right now as a hurricane slowly encroaches on close to me and my city. Let's see, let us click on chapter 4. Oh, last time we left off, I guess I should tell you, a lot of shit went down. Like, it's so much. Just go watch the other ones. Or, like, read a synopsis of the game. Alright. Let's see if I can remember what the fuck these voices are. The second candle is lit. Its name is Philia, the love for friends. The yellow candle shone and danced. That's my fan. Sorry. I couldn't tell if that song was my fan or the air outside, wind outside. Okay, here we go. The yellow candle shone and danced with her breath. Let this candle burn until its wick is spent. Encourage friendship, bring forth memories. Let me walk in his halls without any suspicion. Let me rummage through his belongings invisibly. His journal. He guards his journal fiercely. I must find it. Actually, I think I can turn this all off. Boop, boop. There we go. I don't think we need that on. It's pretty cool outside. It's like been in the high 70s all day. Oh, it's this one. Oh boy. Here we go. Wish I had something a little bit stronger in it. Rosa adjusted her coat as she sat on one of the reserved seats. The theater was packed. The air buzzed with excitement. She hadn't realized this many people would come tonight. Oh, Mother. I wish she would stop staring at me. And why not? This was Madame Catherine Parid's first solo concerto. Her name had been slowly gathering recognition the past few years. It was feasible to expect a full house. Still, the turnout was more than they had expected. Paris had taken Rosa and Catherine by surprise. The sheer number of people and their liveliness were... liveliness. The sheer number of people and their liveliness were well above the usual size of their small town. Catherine was obviously thrilled with the open opportunity to play in such an esteemed venue for her debut. Rosa tried her best to keep her anxiety under control. This was for Catherine. Yes, for her. This was her night. Rosa took a deep breath and released it slowly. It relaxed her. I hope the show starts soon. Rosa's eye drifted towards the stage and then Rosa's... Fuck my life. I'm very conscious of the fact that my mouth is very dry right now. I keep thinking about it. Let's see. Rosa's eye drifted toward the stage and then to the throng of people gathered on her far left. In the middle of the huddle stood a familiar shape of a man. He had his back to her, but the posture and the build were unmistakable. That's Guillaume. Her heart made a sudden, gleeful jump. She was delighted that he had made it to Catherine's show. He had been traveling extensively recently. What if she walked over and made sure? Guillaume would greet her kindly. She was sure Catherine would be thrilled to know he was here. Rosa pondered for a bit, reminded of a sudden wince of pain. Soon, the master of the ceremonies obliged people to take their seats. Guillaume turned around and walked toward her. He stopped midway and took a seat without noticing her presence. Rosa seemed deep in thought. What's wrong, sweetheart? Is something bothering you? I'm watching this in 720p. That's probably not helping anything. Hold up. Hold up, hold up, hold up. I am unmuted, right? That would be embarrassing. I'm also not getting any sound, by the way. Like any music, which is odd. Let me just go over here and make sure. Do I have everything connected? Yeah, it's just not making any noise. Interesting. Enough. Oh, fuck. Stop doing that. Surprisingly, it did not help that much. Alright, let's scroll back up here. And we're good. We're Gucci. Let go. Oh my god, stop it. Fuck. Keep going back. Here we go. What's wrong, sweetheart? Is something bothering you? Nothing, Mother. Don't lie to me. I just didn't expect to see him here. That's all. Oh, I see. It's the same problem, isn't it? Which one is the nicer one? Does Guillaume's presence upset you? Are you worried about Catherine now that he's here? Are you worried about Catherine's now that he's here? Does Guillaume's presence upset you? I think the Catherine choice might be a little bit nicer. That filthy man again. I'm sure Catherine will be pleased. Whatever will she think now that her lover is back? I bet she would rather spend all her time with him as usual. My poor darling. Always running after her star. I wonder how long until she is tired of you constantly tagging along. You brag to me that you share everything like sisters. Does that include Guillaume too? Oh, you're making your life so complicated, darling. Why do you even bother yourself with these people? This was not the good choice. This was not the good choice. I wish I could go back. Can I go back? No, it just takes me here. God, fuck, shit. God damn it. All right. She will obviously abandon you when they get together. They will make such a lovely pair. Rosa winced at Mother's voice as if it were nails grating on the wall. It's only a matter of time, isn't it? What will you do then? Aren't you tired of being the third wheel? It's not like that, Mother. We're friends. Friends? Darling, friendship is nothing but a shallow kind of relationship. People change friends as easily as the weather. You don't even remember the friends you make at a certain age. Family is more important. Fuck. Oh god. Everything bad happened there. There we go. I'm the only one who will care for you forever, darling. A mother's love will endure. This bond can never be broken by time or absence. Family lifts you up. It saves. Of course you feel this way. You see them often. But when you lose touch, you're left with nothing but a collection of strangers. And believe me, my dear, they will leave. They always leave. You amuse them now, but soon they will abandon you too. Rosa's tongue felt bitter in her mouth. She was filled with annoyance for her mother. Wasn't happiness as fleeting as friendship? Yet it was not anything less than real. Yet it was not any less real than sadness. Yes, family was important. These familial bonds kept her from losing herself. It was her rock, her foundation. But were these bonds the only constant value? These friends, these were people who accepted her. They shared laughter and tears, their own regrets and dreams. In her heart, she had found a home with them. What more was needed? Rosa's confused feelings began to arrange themselves neatly in her mind. Guillaume and Catherine's happiness was important to her. That was the main thing. She knew they felt the same way for her. Her insecurities were real, but they were insignificant. If anything, they were bittersweet. She had no regrets. For the first time in her life, she wanted to talk back to Mother. She bit her lip, quelling the nerves as she opened her mouth to speak. I know that. What? I know they might abandon me one day for whatever reason. It might be today or next year, or even sooner. But that doesn't matter in the long run. I'm happy with them. We've had years together that I will treasure. Like I treasure memories of you too, Mother. My memories of you keep me sustained. That is why I love you. The years we spend together, no matter how fleeting, are still worth something. So let me take care of them right now. Oh my god. So let me care for them right now. Everything changes, but nothing is lost. Rosa's sure she had read it somewhere. Rosa waited for Mother to answer with a vicious voice or to burst out screaming at her cheekiness. But no voice came. Rosa smiled to herself. The lights dimmed. A low hush descended on the pews. Soon, Catherine entered, clad in the loveliest gown and an even lovelier smile. She was beautiful. She belonged on the stage. The lights shone on her, but they paled in comparison to her radiance. Catherine bowed to the audience and took a seat in front of the piano. She began to play. Rosa gripped the handle of her seat. It's not very loud. I can barely hear it. She felt surges of emotion with every note. A kind of energy passed through her, touching her skin and making her break into goosebumps. Oh, Catherine. Rosa hadn't known of such an effect before this moment. Music that could strike the heart as if it were fiddling with the soul. It was different from practice, different from when she was performing in front of smaller groups. This was a stage, and here was a woman with strings. She was tugging the right keys, touching your heart and electrifying your soul. Rosa realized she wasn't alone in this feeling. The whole room was mesmerized. She looked at the lady beside her seat. She had her hand to her open mouth. A teardrop dangled precariously on her eye. The man to her left seemed to have forgotten to blink. Rosa beamed and savored a rush of kinship with them. They were experiencing the same emotion with her. It made her love them just a little bit. Rosa closed her eye and savored the night. A bead of sweat fell from Catherine's chin. She was out of her body now. Her stress from the beginning of the show that had thawed and turned into passion, it ran down her fingers to the keys. It did not escape Catherine's notice that most people in the crowd came to the show to gawk at her. Catherine Parede, the one that the infamous Marquis the Gull had been courting for years? Didn't he pay for this event? Lucky broad. Catherine Parede. I heard she was some pianist. Any good? Who knows? Must be. If even that Marquis is chasing her. Catherine Parede. Some female pianist. Pretty face, nice flesh on her. Let us watch her show. Her fingers caressed the keys, playing them with the force of her heart. Did she play to prove them wrong? Her music saturated the theater with her fervor. No, not to prove them wrong. To set it right. Catherine Parede is my name. I am more than just a pretty face. I am playing this piece for you. It is my gift. Let me touch your soul. Rosa felt her eye get moist. This was Catherine's heart transcribed into music. All energy and beauty with the strength of the wind. The mischief of a sudden gale that whips a lady's skirt and tips gentlemen's hats. The cold breeze that carried the loneliness of the coming winter. Everyone in the audience felt it. Rosa searched for Guillaume's face in the darkness. She couldn't see him clearly, but it didn't matter. She knew what he was feeling. She felt it too. Rosa's heart began to ache. It was a sting she didn't know how to name. After the show, Rosa greeted Catherine in the backstage dressing room. She was smothered in flowers from the audience, sweat glistening on her forehead. Catherine gave her a tight hug. Congratulations, Cath. You were marvelous on stage. Thank you, Rosie. Catherine covered her cheeks with her hands. I'm still shaking. The excitement from the stage hasn't left. Look at my hands. Oh dear. So I would call the show a success, yes? Pour the champagne, Shetty. That was awful. Pour the champagne, Shetty. It is a night to remember. Catherine and Rosa hugged again. Let me finish up here, Rosa. Then we'll celebrate properly. Two young, ravishing ladies sampling the best of what Paris has to offer? I like it. Rosa laughed. Just don't let go of my hand. You might get lost being so starry-eyed. She was teasing, but smiling brightly all the same. I would never. Anyway, shall I meet you outside in a few minutes? Very well. I'll see you later. Rosa was thankful to leave the backstage area. She had almost forgotten her anxiety during the show, but this backstage was an ill reminder of the crowd. She looked forward to the night ahead, wondering vaguely why she hadn't mentioned Guillaume's presence to Cath. She shrugged it off. It had simply slipped her mind, that was all. Catherine went back to her dressing room. I didn't catch the rest of that sentence before I moved on. Catherine went back to her dressing room, humming as she went about to grab her coat. She wasn't the least bit tired. Visions of the city, exploring new sights, and gaining experiences made her giddy with excitement. It will end the night on the best note, she was sure. A small knock interrupted her thoughts. Who's there? Catherine turned around and a cheerful smile froze on her face. The Marquis peeked from the open door and stepped inside. Hello, Cath. A tingling passed through Catherine's neck. Although she was aware he had returned, this was the first time she had seen him in 2 years. After she rebuked his intentions of wooing her, Catherine shook her head at the memory. They grew up together. It was normal to develop feelings for someone you shared most of your life with, was it not? Yet, Catherine had promised herself not to dabble with the Marquis, with all the rumors and the past flings. It felt like she knew too much. Too complicated, she had reasoned. The rumors were still alive in some circles, but hadn't Guillaume come clean with his romantic escapades? Hadn't he vowed to be faithful since he had made his intentions clear? Who to believe? Perhaps it was possible that Catherine pushed away the insinuation, the last thought had rearranged her. Catherine pushed away the insinuation of that last thought and rearranged her face into a merry smile. She curtsied. "My Lord Marquis, thank you for coming." The last bit came out too loud in her ears. It felt like her voice was compensating. She suppressed a groan. "I hope you found the show satisfactory?" "My Lord Marquis." What happened to Gilly Monster? At once the memories flooded to her mind. That used to be her greeting every time she visited him back then. She would scream that when she saw him, right before she flung her arms around his neck. Catherine didn't know what to do. Suddenly the hands that had never betrayed her, felt like they belonged to someone else. She cleared her throat and felt a smile harden on her face. "Pardon my past life, sire. I was a bit of a precocious child. After all, I must give my due respect to the sponsor of this event. Thank you, by the way. It didn't have to be so extravagant." "Wasn't it your dream to play in Paris?" "Hey, Taco, welcome." "Wasn't it your dream to play in Paris, Kath? I thought your debut would be the perfect opportunity to fulfill that dream." The Marquis stepped into her quarters and closed the door. Catherine flinched, afraid that the small room would draw them even closer. Just the effect he wanted, probably, the sly fox. She floundered for a bit and contented herself in fussing with the flowers on the table. She should chase him out. Why wasn't she chasing him out? "Merde, Catherine. I didn't think you'd be attending tonight, sire." "Weren't you traveling?" "Yes, I was. But I wouldn't miss her concerto for the whole of France." Guillaume stepped forward. "And it seems my investments were well placed." Guillaume drew closer to Catherine, so near that she could smell the mint in his breath. He appeared to reach out to her face, but changed direction at the last minute. Oh, these flowers are from the Duke. How pretty." He examined the card dangling... Fuck. He examined the card dangling a hair away from Catherine's ear, trying to look fascinated by the piece of decorative paper. Then he stepped back, grinning like an idiot. He really has great taste." "Wherever did you learn that, muckhead?" If he thought that kind of ploy would make her swoon, then he was dead wrong. In fact, all it made her want to do was wipe that stupid grin off his face. Oh yeah, all action. That's all this game is. "With the backside of the vase." "Yes, he does, doesn't he?" She gritted her teeth, unable to take the acidic edge out of her voice. It wouldn't be so hard. All she had to do was grab the neck of the expensive vase and fling it at his head. She wasn't sure if the vase would break. Maybe not. Maybe she would need to hit him again for the full effect. "Catherine, did you hear what I just said?" "Huh?" "I said, now that I'm back in town, would you consider playing for me again?" It was part of our original arrangement, after all. She felt the tendons in her neck tighten. "I have a full schedule this week, sire, but I'll let you know when I'm free." "Oh." "Sire, I must retire for the night. I am exhausted from my performance, after all. Excuse me." Are you gonna calm down there, upload speed? Are we good? You're gonna calm down? We're regular now? No more drop frames? There we go. Catherine turned around and went for her coat, but she felt Guillaume grab her hand. Wait. They stared at each other for a couple of seconds. Guillaume looked like he was about to say something. His mouth opened and closed as if debating the correct words in his head, but he just dropped Catherine's hand a moment later. "I'm sorry. You're right. You must be tired." His shoulders dropped. Catherine felt a tinge of disappointment, but she ignored it quickly. No. Guillaume let out a sigh. You know I'm not good at this, Catherine. Oh, what do I know? You seem to do just fine. You have an amazing track record. Huh? Catherine folded her arms over her chest with a pout. Oh, that. That is just because of my face. What? Most people think I am very deep and thoughtful when I stare at them like this. I just run with it. Catherine bit her lip to prevent a chuckle from escaping. Internet bliss. Up. I know there is wind outside. I know things are happening out there, but I'm going to need you to calm down. Are we good? No more drop frames? Alright. But the laughter burst out from her. He hadn't changed at all. Before she could stop herself, a mischievous smile appeared on her face. No. Actually, it is your inability to make big gestures, Gilly. Huh? Well, look at you. She copied his tight, alert posture. There's like a piece of ice that like keeps coming into my mouth when I keep drinking that. You stand stiff as a board. I guess it fools people into believing yours. I guess it fools people into... Yeah, that's correct. I guess it fools people into believing you are a graceful, dashing soul. Guillaume made a pout. I am dashing, though. Maybe. Au contraire, monsieur. I did have the misfortune of being victim to your dancing. Bum 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 ba-da-da-dum. Let's see. Must you always bring that up? It was a long time ago. He looked so distressed that Catherine couldn't help but tease him further. I mourn the death of my little toe, sire. I like that toe. It was a traumatic experience. Before long, they were laughing like it was the most natural thing in the world. When did it change? Hadn't it always been like this? Catherine settled back into her own skin, mulling the confusion in her veins. Cath. She looked up at him. Her own emotion stung at her. You can't keep running away from me. She sighed deeply. Her hands tightened around her resolve for lack of a solid thing to hold on to. Perhaps not, but I have already given you an answer. I am aware. I have tried to accept it, but please don't take offense, but I thought it would be easy. I left to clear my head to fill my mind with other things. Traveling usually does the trick. For a while, at least. I thought I was successful. Wind around me calm tonight? It comes and goes. It comes and goes. It's not the most, it's, you know. It comes and goes. The wind, yeah. The wind is a whole thing that's happening. I'm sure you'll hear it every once in a while. But even during my trip, I would catch myself thinking such absurd things like, I wonder what Kath will say when she sees that. No, I don't think Catherine will like this too much. Well, Kath used to say... It was funny, but also a little infuriating to know that you have never left my mind. Thanks, Taco. Trying to, at least. We'll see what happens with the trajectory of this guy. So, I wish I knew how to do this. He sighed. I am too used to people leaving me that I do not know how to quit on my own. It must bother you, the amount of lovers I had in the past. I am sorry for that. I almost wish I was really that adept, but like I have told you, most were simply rumors. The rest were people realizing I'm not as interesting as they had initially thought. Guillaume. They never stayed long, Kath. One could say I am amazing with first impressions. There is a nagging feeling that's all I am ever good for. A sort of exotic trophy people like to collect for its sake, and then put aside when its novelty expires. I can't blame them. By now I am quite sure that I am what is wrong. I must be better at letting people go. But you... Please don't make me let go. You see through me, Kath. In your eyes, I feel like I'm somebody worth loving. Is it any wonder that I like to continue thinking of you fondly? Old habits die hard, I suppose. Catherine bit her lip. Those are impressive words, sire, but do you have a point? My point? It is simple, really. I don't think I'll be able to stop my feelings for you. You may reject me as many times as you wish. It will not change. I have already come to the conclusion that I don't mind. He shrugged. So, I propose that you either get used to me chasing you, or you give in to my dashing, toe-mashing charms. Catherine chuckled despite herself. Or I could kill you with the Duke's fashionable vase. Please do not give my superior the pleasure. I would rather you rip my heart out of my chest and offer it as a dark sacrifice to the gods. Gory. Very poetic. Dashing points for you. You think so? I've been reading a lot of romance novels lately. What kind of romance novels are you even talking about? I figured I must learn to be more suave to make the lady of my dreams swoon. Is it working? Catherine laughed. Hardly. I believe this is how they do it in the big finale. Guillaume cleared his throat and knelt down on one knee. He took Catherine's hand awkwardly, trying to act as naturally as he could. His serious face made Catherine burst out laughing. Que folle! What in the world are you doing, idiot? Stop laughing, madame. I must try this, at least once. I am simply concerned for an older gentleman and his knee. Will you be able to stand up from that position later, given your obvious grace? Guillaume chuckled. Terrible. Dare you call me an old man? I don't look my age, you know. Sure, sure. Oh, stop laughing, will you? I'm trying to concentrate. He cleared his throat again. Will Mademoiselle Catherine Perrine allow me an audience tonight? As such, perhaps she might allow me to stay by her side for a while longer. It will make me a very happy man. It was sappy and ridiculous, and yet hearing the words did stir Catherine's heart. They were giggling like fools now, like children, her heart heavy with love for him. Love? Did she just think love? Of course she did. She had always loved him. Why was she fighting her feelings again? The reason seemed unclear all of a sudden. All right, sire. Your gallantry has convinced this lady to accept your offer for tonight. She bowed with an exaggerated curtsy. Guillaume took her hand theatrically as he stood up. This gentleman is relieved he didn't have to sing. A few rules tonight. As we are in Paris, you must be on your best behavior. No embarrassing jokes like making friends with street mimes. Agreed. As such, I must retire by 8. 10. 8. 9:30. 9. Take it or leave it. Guillaume grumbled, but Catherine just chuckled at his frustration. Fine. 9:15 it is. Sire, I meant 9 sharp. Guillaume's face brightened like a little boy's. Oh, I know where we can go. There's a quaint little piazza just south of here. They have a breathtaking view of the city. They're on the hill, you see. I know the owner personally, so we're already guaranteed the best seats. And they serve the best pomme et terre graniti. Gratin again? If you continue eating that every opportunity you get, soon there will be no potatoes left in all of France. Catherine sighed. Why must he be so... Oh no, this is my third run through of this game. I played 2 times before. The first one is on the channel. I did good decisions and bad decisions. Mostly good decisions. And the last time I did it on stream, I did all bad. It was the bad run through, so I got the bad ending. This run through, I'm doing all good. The all good run through. Or at least I'm trying to. It's very hard to choose sometimes. We got a choice earlier in this, It's not like choices as what the characters get to do. It's more like dialogue between the main character's mother and her, and it directs what's gonna happen at the end of the game, because we already know what happens to Catherine. Like that's a spoiler, like straight up in the near the beginning of the thing. So like a plan has been set in motion. This is in the past though. This is a flashback, so to say. But it is linear. It is very linear. Yeah. It's very far. Well, I mean, neither of these characters are the choice character. Neither of these are the main character, believe it or not. You just came in on one of their scenes. But, yeah, they are far and few between. But, they actually are extremely significant to what story you get out of it. Like, I got a whole other chapter I had never gotten in my bad run through. And I had an entire chapter in my good bad run through that I didn't get in my bad run through. And so I'm hoping to get the last chapter unlocked with this guy. Alright. Yeah, so they are far and few between, but they are extremely significant. Like, the bad ending was so bad. It was just like, holy fuck. And the good ending, I'm anxious to see how the good ending goes, because I got like one of the medium endings. I think there's 4 or 5 endings to this game. So, you could run through these games. It will stop you. You will get like you can just like click through it and just get to the options. But where's the fun in that, you know? You get to notice a whole bunch of things in the dialogue that you didn't notice before about this storyline. And it's fun knowing like what happens and getting to redo the game. So let's see. Catherine. This better not be a game like all your other flings, sire. Oh, I'm not on the screen. I deserve to be treated like more than a prize. But Catherine watched Guillaume's face beam as he talked about that little house on the hill. How when the weather was perfect, the stars would soak the sky. She giggled to herself with fondness. What a dolt. A night in Paris and he would rather eat cheese potatoes. It was just like him to pick the stars instead of the city, wasn't it? It pleased her to know that she adored the side of him that others did not see. But was this the real him? Did she really see through him like he said? Or was this a face he put on for her sake, like most flirts could? If it was, then she had been watching this face since she was a little girl. From awe to admiration, from friends to lovers. They had seen the best and worst of each other throughout the years. Surely there was something to that. Surely it couldn't all be a lie, right? I'm sorry, I got carried away. Shall we go? Yes. Catherine grabbed her coat and Guillaume took her purse. Oh, I almost forgot. Rosa is waiting outside. Then let us hurry and meet up with her. I haven't seen her for a long time. I missed her too. It will be a treat to spend the evening with 2 esteemed ladies. She'll be thrilled to see you. Just like the old times. Us 3? Yes. She slipped her hand on his arm nonchalantly and caught Guillaume's smile to himself. At the very least, let that smile be real. Oh god, I forgot I had it so loud. That was very shocking to me in my system. Take a drink of water. Oh man. I even knew it was coming. I just thought I'd have to click again before it happened. Oh god, okay. You're lying! Lady Claudette saw you in names! Tears and snot ran down her face. She was holding a vintage 1610 bottle of wine. Let's move this down here so I can see my mic levels. She gripped the neck of the bottle and flung it at the wall where Guillaume was standing. He ducked just in time to avoid the glass. Chérie. Don't you sherry me, you bastard! Can we not take it out on my wine collection again? Catherine threw another bottle in response. Stop, Catherine! You're going to hurt yourself. Hurt myself? Like you care. You tell me you're off in Avignon last weekend, but you're actually in Nimes? Why are you making this into a huge deal? So I had to stop over at a neighboring town. It's a lie, it's a lie if you omit things. I told you at the very start of this relationship, Guillaume, I want 100% honesty from you. And I've told you as well, I have a reputation. Rumors follow me. Idle mouths can't help but chatter. Did you know that Lady Claudette once indecently proposed to me? And right in front of her... And right in her husband's birthday gathering as well? So what? That's all beside the point. You know what they say? Where there is smoke, there is fire. How about a name to further torch the bush? Lelaine de Monteclair? Lelaine is the shop girl of the town. A nice girl. Or at least I surmise from all those 3 times I made the mistake to enter her shop, it looks like. Is there anything else you would like to insinuate? Oh, nothing at all, sire. Why? Is there anything I should know? Guillaume sighed and tried to speak calmly. Chérie, I promised you when we got engaged, didn't I? I will be faithful only to you. There is no one else. But Catherine gritted her teeth. Again with this. You're more vague than the monkey's spit. Answer me straight right now, yes or no. Are you having an affair? Guillaume threw his hands up in annoyance. Merde, Catherine, I am not. I have already answered this. Why does it seem like you only hear what you want to hear? I just want to understand everything and make it crystal clear. Is that so bad? Now, explain to me what Lady Claudette... Lady Claudette, you are taking that bitter, conniving woman's words over mine? Well, I try to get information from the source, but the source isn't very reliable. Guillaume's shoulders slumped in an irritated surrender. She heard him curse under his breath. I am tired of this, Kath. This is a waste of time. What is the point of this if we keep going around in circles? Catherine sniffled. Catherine sniffled, wiping her nose savagely with her hand. You always do this. You go off on a tangent and pick things apart. You don't even listen to my side at all. Could you stop acting like a child for 1 minute? Maybe then we can have a real conversation. A conversation with a liar is always one-sided. Catherine grabbed 2 bottles this time. What would happen if she brought the 2 bottles crashing in front of her? Would the pieces stab her face? Her eyes, maybe? What a random thought. The morbid picture gave her an out-of-body experience. It was a nasty fight. Depressingly familiar. Oh god, here we go. Depressingly familiar. But they were dancing to the same tune once again. Here be the lovers. Enter left, the hothead. Watch her dance with anger blazing, tears are sparkling bitter rage. The fight goes on until she's spent, the reasons hazy in her head. Pan right to the rake. Both the victim and accused. Words are poison and an unlit fuse. Migrants taint his pride and temper. He grudgingly takes on logic's mantle. The words they throw reach fever pitch. The dance will crest, he'll choose to leave. Enough of this, he says, enraged. Temper rising, he exits frame. Her unspent fervor burning hot. She cries it off, the cowardly sod. What did you expect, she asked herself. He'll take abuse with a bowed head? The least he could do, her anger shouts. A hint of guilt, a hint of doubt. The migrant throbs as he is pacing, annoyed and angered, his face a flush. Capricious women, irrational. He shakes his head with a tired breath, yet he basks in torture and savors the taste. This is love, he nods. This is love, he says. Love and pain go hand in hand. It is painful, yes, but never bland. He nips a morsel and takes a bite. Exquisite, he trembles. A rush. A charge. He feels his heart is struck by love, decides that it is worth the gripe. A dainty flower he must protect, to watch it bloom until it is ripe. It's ripe, but not right now, he says, still sore. His pride's too hard to swallow whole. Hours pass, he wouldn't call. She forms the words she knows will hurt. She plans to cut and make him bleed. Yet when he arrives, she all but weeps. Why'd you leave? I shouldn't have. Are you angry still? I'm here now, love. Her arms are snug upon his neck. He'll promise to change, to do what's best. For both their sake, he admits he's wrong. A little lie to complete the song. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you love. Just tell me when you're tired of me, or when you find some other pretty thing, you bastard. Catherine slipped back to her brain just the last sentence left her lips. If you're going to leave me, then just leave. Stop playing me for a fool. This was a new tempo. She dropped the bottles to her side, but did not let go. He noticed a change of song and timed his step accordingly. I never once thought or treated you like a fool. I love you. I'm never going to leave you. New tears churn and bubble from her eyes. Liar! It was her turn to leave this time, and she did. He was left to perform a solo. Contemplation, regret, penance. A vow of new beginnings forming in his head. Kath? Rosie Wosie! Catherine stumbled into Rosa's room that evening, drunk to high heaven. Her half-lit eyes surveyed Rosa's meager space. She let herself fall on the bed, regretting it instantly. The ceiling spun in a waltz, throbbing headaches and acid-laced throats. Bad idea. Catherine stood up and her wobbly legs tripped her. Rosa caught her and sat Kath on her small bed. My goodness, you stink of alcohol. She propped some pillows behind her back and fixed the stray hairs that had littered her face. Thanks, hon. You're a dear. How much have you had, Kath? Catherine counted on her fingers. Never mind. Would you like some water? Nope. Interesting, huh? I can almost hear the liquid sloshing around in my brain when I shake my head. Rosa pursed her lips. Catherine was in no shape to make decisions now. She stood up to get her something to sober up, but Catherine grabbed Rosa's hand and tugged at it gently. No, you. You sit. Please. Please. Rosa complied. Catherine revealed a bottle about 3/4 full. Snuck another one from Gilly Monster's closet. Serves him right for calling me a child. Rosa began to protest. Catherine paid her no mind. Come on, Rosa. When have we ever drunk ourselves to the point of insanity? And I call you my best friend. Catherine took a huge swig of bittersweet liquid and offered it to Rosa. Rosa examined it carefully and took a mouthful. She gargled it in her mouth, admiring the sweet and sour flavor of the wine. I've never had anything this rich before. Good, right? It had to be. It's the last bottle. So, had another fight with Shh. Bad wind follows that name. I am not talking about that egocentric pompadour tonight. We are going to drink. We are going to reminisce. And tomorrow we'll hate ourselves together. Agreed? Rosa giggled. If you say so. Alright, last one. Rosa puffed her cheeks in mock disgust. Fine. How do you make holy water? How? Boil the hell out of it. Rosa and Catherine were assaulted by fits of hysterical laughter. Catherine felt the muscles of her cheek ache. That is so bad. I don't even have words. Me a taco, though. Catherine wiped the tears of laughter from her eyes. I heard that one from one of your suitors, Sire Adrian. Rosa rolled her eyes. How come I always end up talking to your suitors more than you? I must start charging you a fee. I'll pay it with my gratitude. Hey, it's Colonel. Sup, Colonel? What is wrong with Sire Adrian anyway? He seemed like a nice man. Nice hair, nice teeth, nicely groomed mutton chops. The woman laughed. Well, how about Sire Ferdinand? And he sent you that lovely bouquet of flowers. I am not interested in a relationship at the moment. At the moment? You don't seem interested ever. Not yet, Colonel. Haven't died yet. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. Saturday is really the deciding factor of like where it's gonna go. Since it just hit land, is it like gonna peace out and head back into sea and then head up towards me, or is it just gonna head up towards Austin? Crossing my fingers, it's the latter of the two, but who knows? You and Lucian, man. Let's see. At the moment, you don't seem interested ever. I am. Sometimes. It's just hard to connect to people for me beyond physical. Relations seem out of the question. You don't have any difficulty with me or that idiot in the upper room. It means you're not incapable. That is only because you are my closest friends. Internet bliss. Calm yourself. Well, there must be someone. The moment I start talking, why would you do this to me? How dare you? It doesn't look like it's dropping that many frames. Oh, you are so picky. If you go on like that, you might end up with an old... No, you might end up an old maid. So be it. I'd rather take care of your children anyway. I shall be the amazing godmother. Catherine smiled wistfully. I'm not sure I want any. What? Children. I love children, but it's a little scary. Catherine bit her lip. What if she becomes her mother? No, fuck me. God damn it. What if she becomes her own mother? It was such a terrifying possibility, wasn't it? Do you guys like how I keep squinting to read what's on the page? It was such a terrifying possibility, wasn't it? She barely remembered her mother. Her malady was... I feel like that's not the correct word. Her malady had struck as soon... Her madness had struck as soon as Catherine was born. She had never called Catherine by her name, not even on the day she had died. All she knew was that their family struggled with the crisis. Fuck off, Colonel. Her father, exhausted and depressed, and her sister forced to grow up too fast. To be a blight to the people you love, how horrible it would be. Catherine. Rosa smiled at her, interrupting her thoughts. You will be a good mother. Your past does not matter. Catherine stared at Rosa, almost enchanted at her ability to know what she was thinking. She really was her best friend, wasn't she? The thought warmed her heart. You really think so? Yes. The fact that you are so concerned about them before they are even born speaks much to your kindness. Whatever happens, those children will grow up loved. Catherine blushed and changed the subject. Oh, we're out of booze. We finished it. I'm quite buzzed. Hey, remember the first time we drank? Do you mean the party or the potato incident? Of course I meant the potato incident. Oh, how could I forget? Rosa burst out laughing. That was hilarious. Wayne, stop laughing. I almost went to jail. Goodness, I was so stupid. Rosa laughed again. Amen. Hey, you're supposed to say no, Catherine. We do dumb things when we're young. Catherine, we do dumb things when we're young. It's about time you learned your lesson. I can't wait to tell your children endless tales of your shenanigans. Wench. Tut tut. Catherine grabbed Rosa's waist and attempted to tickle her, but Rosa slipped away laughing. I wish they would tell us about the potato incident. Catherine's stomach lurched and she stopped. Her hands were... Oh, God, no, that was incorrect. Let's try that one again. Catherine's stomach lurched and she stopped, her hands still hugging Rosa's waist. The room spun, but it wasn't unpleasant. You gonna chill out there, internet? You gonna chill? Any second? I'll take a drink of water while you freak the fuck out. I saw the lightning, But you don't gotta panic, internet. You fine. There we go. She felt like being gently rocked in a cradle. She closed her eyes and smiled. She took in Rosa's scent, always smelling slightly like apples. God, I'm so hungry. Probably after this, I'll end it after this chapter. I'm so hungry. Rosa scratched her head and smoothed her hair. This is nice. Yes. Rosa? Thank you for being with me. Of course. No, I mean... She sat up on bed. You've been with me all my life. You are my oldest friend. When we first met, I didn't have many friends. I just studied my piano lessons night and day because that's all I ever knew to do. It was all I had. Maybe that is why I begged Papa to let you stay with us. I was so happy. Rosa smiled fondly at the memory. God, you guys are making me so fucking hungry. I hate you all. They're talking about, for the people who watch this after the fact, they're talking about fries. And they're talking about it in the gross Canadian way. And Taco is talking about it in the Swedish way, I'm assuming. No offense, Canadians. It just sounds like the most unappealing thing ever. Let's see. Rosa smiled fondly at the memory. You were there for me always. Ugh, that sounds disgustingly melodramatic. You're drunk, I understand. They laughed again. Would you like to hear something worse? What? You changed my life? Ugh, that is worse. Rosa smiled fondly as she played with Catherine's hair. I'm the lucky one, Catherine. You took me home and treated me like I was family. I wouldn't have known what a real family was like without you. Papa Francois and Emily. Even if Papa Francois always did avoid me, I knew he cared for me like his own. That sounds so gross. Can you guys hear the wind outside? You might be able to. Yes, why is that? That was why I liked him. He was a good man. And you know, Guillaume was almost family too. Catherine made a face at the mention of the man, but her eyes softened. I miss father. Me too. There was a pause. Catherine shifted awkwardly in her skin. Can I tell you a secret? Of course. Guillaume and I... We haven't had intercourse. Recently? No, I mean... at all. Oh. Rosa cleared her throat. I see. After all these years? Well... After the first time, never again. Rosa blushed. Her head knitted together images of two people she considered her friends. Rosa tried to push them away, but all she was able to do was paint the warped fantasies in gossamer and fuzz. She cleared her throat. Is that why you have separate rooms, even when we moved here to the chateau? No, that was his idea. He's very peculiar with his sleep. I imagine we'll be keeping the separate bedrooms even when we get married. I don't really mind. Well, your wedding is soon, isn't it? Perhaps you are just nervous. No, I don't think it's like that. Recently we'd get intimate, but I always stop when things got too sultry. Oh. He gets upset sometimes, but he says it's all right. Catherine looked down ruefully at her toes. He doesn't push me into it. I should be glad. But don't you think it's strange? What if I stay like this even after we get married? I don't understand why. Sometimes I get these doubts and I wonder why they are there. Isn't that unfair for him? Bitch, no. Bitch, you do you. You feel what you want to feel. That is all him. some background static. That might be the wind. Are you hearing the wind outside? Because that hasn't died down. A terrible amount. Let's see. I'll turn this down if that helps out. Where are we? Rock you like a hurricane. Let's see. Let's go over here. Nope, that's not the right option. Let's go over here. Is that the right option? Huh. That's pretty low. Nope, not there. There's another option somewhere around here. There we go. Let's drop the gain a little bit. Maybe that'll help you out. Hurricane. Autocorrect plus. Let's see. Isn't that unfair for him? Nah, bitch. You be asexual or whatever you are. All you want. Demisexual, whatever. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. I just feel like there's something wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you. But it makes me feel really insecure. This lack of, you know. What if he's getting it somewhere else? It drives me crazy. Well, yeah. It's static still there. I'm just quieter now. Alright. Well, fuck that then. It might be a connection, actually. I have no idea. I'll bump this shit back up. I can't remember where it was. We'll throw you there. I don't think you were at 30. Hold on. Let me mute this and let me move this. Well, no, it didn't. It doesn't look like. There's always just constant sound. I'm not 100% sure what it is, to be completely honest with you. I feel like I know what you're talking about. I don't really know what it is. Is it this? Nope. And I have zero clue what it could be. It might be the connection, actually. The USB connection. I'll mess up with it later. Oh god, you guys are awful. Alright, I did just see myself with glasses though. Oh, my shiny, sweaty forehead. Because this light is intense. Let me lower this. Oh my god, iron films are killing me. Killing me. Alright, let's go backwards. Back, 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 back. Nope, nope. Nope, nope. How many times did I accidentally click on this? It makes me feel really insecure, this lack of, you know. What if he's getting it somewhere else? It drives me crazy. And believe me, I want to. I just can't for some reason. Girl, you should have run. You should have run immediately. And you guys will know why later. I get this horrible feeling I can't explain. Rosa examined Catherine's face and came to a conclusion. It took me a while to understand sex. The sudden no-nonsense comment surprised Catherine. Rosa went on. I was the same as you. I had always had an adverse feeling for it. Like it's dirty and I should be ashamed for enjoying it. Just gonna slide in this message into the story. I'd always thought love would make sex clean, but that's not how it works. They are two separate things. So, just because you don't like it, doesn't mean you don't love him, Kath. Catherine looked up at her. Why do you even care so much to hurt him? What do you think love is? The warm feeling returned to Catherine's heart. How do you do that? Huh? You always know the right thing to say. Always. I keep forgetting they're drunk. Always. Rosa blushed at this, suddenly aware they were still in loose tangles of... Rosa blushed at this, suddenly aware that they were still in a loose tangle of an embrace. I've read a lot of smart books lately. She tried to diffuse the situation with a laugh, but Catherine didn't drop her look. Candlelight played pretty shadows on her skin. It illuminated the glint in her eyes, the moist on her... Rosa felt the warmth of the alcohol rise to her face. Her heartbeat increased steadily. Anyway, maybe you will feel better about it when you're married. You're probably just nervous about the whole thing. She made attempts to curl away from Catherine's arms, slowly, subtly run away. Disperse the proximity. But she couldn't run away from her stare. Catherine's hand caressed Rosa's face. She touched her scars daintily, tracing them with her fingers. I'm not lying, I keep looking down. I keep forgetting that like they're getting like super serious. The scene's about to end anyways, but I keep just fucking forgetting. I keep looking down because I keep looking at my weather app. I'll pull them up. Grab a glass for all of us, man. If it weren't 2 a.m. and I haven't eaten like since 7, I would absolutely... Hold up. Let's do this. I wonder if it'll show. These are all the warnings right now on my tablet. Are you gonna focus on them? Are you gonna focus? There we go. Oh, it turned off. Those are all on my lock screen right now. Just telling me, hey, tornado warning. Hey, flooding warning. Hey, there's a hurricane coming. Hey, you should be careful about almost dying. Oh no, it's 3 separate tornado watch warnings from AccuWeather, and then 1 other tornado warning from something else. And then they're just, you know, casual, hey, there's a hurricane. Careful. Oh yeah, no, I know. And it is. It's because it's like so fucking nerve-wracking because it's so goddamn slow. Yeah. I'm hoping it stays going that way, but it's moving so slow, like we have no idea. Well, I have no idea. Maybe I haven't watched meteorologists talk about it. But like usually... Oh, maybe it's this guy that's causing the problems. I'll go back to Cupid. It's just oh man, I've been watching it like a fucking hot. It's so nerve-wracking because they never move so slowly. It's always like, and here it comes, and now it's hit, and now it's destroying everything. And you're like, okay, good, I know where it's destroying things. I know it's gonna go this way, that way. It's gonna do one of those things, and now it's just like, well, it's been off the coast of Corpus Christi for the past 7 hours. It is slowly moving closer. It has now been 12 hours. Still the eye hasn't reached, still hasn't gotten there. 18 hours later, it has finally touched down. It's like so fucking nerve-wracking. It's stuck. Ah, so it is my cord. Someone remind me to buy a new cord. Yeah, I've also been on weather.com though. I've always also been to the weather channel. It's all awful. No one can know. It's just so slow. Anyway, let's finish this off so I stop feeling awkward about the scene. She touched her scars daintily, tracing them with her fingers. You're really pretty, Rosa. Especially when you smile. Let me tell you, it's so accurate, though. I fucking hate it when people say this. Thank you, I think? You don't believe me. I don't think I am. I look in the mirror and I see a freak. Rosa! That's not true! It is fine. I like being a freak. I wanted to be ugly. I used to bind my breasts and hide in the shabbiest clothes I could find. Rosa touched her eye. This was penance, she remembered herself saying. For being a sinner and a freak. For attracting attention and spite. For dressing nicely. For letting her hair grow long, but really, I did this to myself to hide. To hide? Rosa's mouth quivered. I thought people don't touch ugly things. But the truth is, they do. So what I'd rather be is invisible. Catherine wrapped her arms around Rosa's neck. She heard Catherine snip and wipe tears behind her embrace. My glasses keep slipping. Oh man. Because they're not big enough for me. They're so old. I need to buy new glasses. She pushed Rosa's hair out of the way and kissed her defective eye. You're not a freak. And you're not ugly. I love every part of you. They're all beautiful. Rosa forgot how close they were. Now, forgot Catherine's hand. Oh, why? That didn't make sense. What the fuck am I reading? Rosa forgot how close they were now. Forgot Catherine's hand on her own. Here was somebody who accepted her with all her faults and ugliness. You always made me feel like I'm worth something. Because you are. You are beautiful, Rosa, inside and out. Rosa saw her face reflected in Catherine's eyes. Seriously, reminds me of like a bathroom of a bar. Like, women are like, if you find a supportive woman in the fucking bathroom, like, bitch, they'll never leave. There's so many people in that bathroom just like validating each other. It's very refreshing, but like, it fills up the bathroom pretty quick. In them, she did indeed look beautiful. A lump formed in Rosa's throat. Catherine's face hovered above her cheek. She planted a little seed of a kiss on it, just barely away from her lips. Rosa kissed her nose in return. It made Catherine giggle. Get a towel. I did just take a shower, so, like, that's why I keep, like, putting my hair up and then putting it down, because it's still wet. Oh, I can imagine. At first, the kisses were sweet. Innocent. The kind of punch-drunk kisses that sent them both into bouts of giggling. But Catherine's hand caressed her neck. The kisses lingered, lips melted, hands explored, and Rosa sucked on the wine. Candle wax. Candle wax? Candle wax? What? What? How? Moving on. That was what it tasted like. Rosa's hand began to swoon. What? Head? Hand. Did I read that incorrectly? This is why I need my glasses on. Otherwise I have to squint. Rosa's head began to swoon. Catherine's hand squeezed her... Okay, grapes? What? Why? What? Okay. There's a point to this. It's not just a smutty sentence. It's an actual plot point here. Rosa began to taste more of her. Longing. Regrets. Tears. A sensational flavor with a U. What a heathen. You she had never tasted before hovered at the edge of her tongue. Suddenly, she was hungry for it. Take it all. Rosa savored the taste. She breathed deeply. All mine. Child, I want it. Her heart, I want her heart. Her love is sweet. Listen to my voice. Mother? But I'm so hungry. So hungry. Stop. Rosa flung her eyes open. Don't skip over the good bits. On her tongue. It was wine, candle wax, and spit. Is, when they were sucking on her tongue, is what it was. I can go back if you really want me to read that part. There's no choice I have to make any time around here. Rose... Don't skip over. There is this is the innocent part. There is like a much more difficult part for me to read that comes in later. Rosa flung her eyes open. A sinking feeling of menace overcame her. No! Rosa pulled away. She pushed Catherine away from her face. Catherine's eyes snapped open, startled by Rosa's outburst. Why did you stop? Greedy, selfish bitch. She blinked for a few seconds. A look of horror creeped on her face. I'm sorry. I didn't mean... No, Kath. Rosa couldn't stand the hurt in her eyes. She was probably blaming herself. Rosa wanted to shout how wrong she was, but the lump in her throat became a rapacious mouth? What the fuck is that word? Rapacious mouth? What the fuck? Rapacious. How the fuck do you pronounce that word?
Rapacious.
It is rapacious. I thought it was going to be more complicated than that. Oh, it gets hella twisted. Oh man, you haven't even seen what happens yet. This is like just the beginning. But the lump in her throat became a rapacious mouth. A tumor had grown inside of her, a parasite. She could feel the pus slither inside her neck. She couldn't speak at all. Catherine wobbled off the bed. She wiped her mouth and cheeks which were covered with a thin layer of drool. I'm so sorry, Rosa. I'm going to leave now. Kath, good night. Rosa should have followed her, but when she tried to stand, the floor twirled. She choked at the flavor left in her throat. Sick and cloying, sticky, sweet with honey. Sweet like honey. Who was who? Who was what? The red voice or the black voice? Because the one that was black but looked like the red voice, that was a mother. That's a voice in Catherine's head. And the red one, I mean Catherine, in Rosa's head. And the red one was, I mean, you'll find out. You'll find out. Sick and cloying, sticky, sweet like honey. The taste both repulsed and enticed her. Thick spit leaked out of her mouth. She felt the urge to vomit. This is nothing, Mother. Just a bad effect of alcohol. No, please don't call me that. It was an accident. Everything's fine. She would talk to Catherine tomorrow, assure her that this was not her fault. Everything was fine. There was an urgent knock at Guillaume's door. Hey, Torfy. There was an urgent knock at Guillaume's door. The clock read right on time for some perfect Guillaume moments, Torfy. The clock read 2:15 in the morning. He closed his journal and stood up from his desk. Yes, coming. He opened his door. Catherine stood in front of him, her cheeks stained with hastily wiped tears. Kath? Guillaume can't... Well, Torfy actually comes to the live streams. Oh, I'm just kidding, but no, he actually just pops up more often. I haven't seen Taco since I started modding people. Or Colonel. This is the first time I see Colonel, I think. Guillaume, can we talk? Oh, isn't it quite late? Please, it's urgent. All right. Guillaume led her inside. Lady, you smell like my vintage bottle of Bourgogne. Lady, you smell like my vintage bottle of Bourgogne. Did you get so drunk you actually thought of apologizing first? I didn't think I'd see the day. Cherie, what's wrong? Catherine's thumb went to her mouth without thinking. How could she even begin to tell Guillaume what she had done? Honey, I was really upset with you today, so despite any good sense, I went and got myself drunk. This time I dragged Rosa along with me. Things have a tendency to go out of hand when alcohol is involved, as you know. Long story short, I came on to Rosa. You know Rosa, the girl who is almost like my sister? Yes, I may have forced myself on her. And I did that right after she told me she had been abused before. She felt Guillaume's hand take her thumb away from her mouth. Kath. She looked at her fingers in horror. Her habit had surfaced again. She thought she had gotten rid of this as she grew up, replacing the nail biting with a meticulous, almost obsessive care for her fingers. My fingers are my livelihood. I must take care of them. Now the nails were chewed upon to jagged stumps, and a couple of them had tiny blistering cuts. Kath, can you talk? Catherine's eyes snapped back to Guillaume as if he had just materialized in the room beside her. So yes, like I was saying, darling, which is the worst thing? Which is the worst thing? What do you think? What? Which is the worst? What do you think? This implied incest, my abuse of my best friend, or the infidelity to you? Or if that doesn't cut it, dear, may I divulge to you one last point? I felt something worrying when I kissed her. Excitement. If she hadn't stopped me, something else would have... It felt so real. It didn't feel like a mistake. It felt like it had always been there, buried deeply. So much so that it felt like cheating. Like, it was like a craving. I wanted it. It was something I haven't felt with you when we... Why is this happening? I don't know. I don't even know who I am anymore. Kath, you were scaring me. Tell me what's wrong. Would you still want to marry me? Would you still love me if you knew? I wouldn't. I can't even look at myself in the mirror. But I think I know who I am now. I'm a selfish, depraved bitch. I have always wanted— oh my god, no, that's incorrect. Oh my god. I've always been the controlling, jealous lover to you. And just one night of drunken frenzy, I went and took advantage of the two people I care for most. Not enough wine to justify this. I want to call off the engagement. At first, Catherine saw Guillaume treated it as— At first, Catherine saw that Guillaume treated it as a joke, but the panic in his eyes set in immediately. What? I said I'm calling off the engagement. Well, I refuse. You don't have a choice. I'm leaving tomorrow. No. Not until you tell me what's wrong. Guillaume's eyes didn't flinch. These were the looks he gave her that melted her heart. They were so sure and steadfast in their care. They were just fighting this morning and— fuck. They were just fighting this morning, a fight she had started as usual. Yet, there was no doubt in his eyes at all. If she were to see that certainty fade away from his eyes, she knew it would break her. Is it about the fight earlier? Because, Kath, I swear to you, I don't have any of the— No! Stop! Stop! Hearing him reinstate his devotion to her just made it more painful. Tears pooled in her eyes and felt huge, ugly globs. She had been doing so well, too. She had thought she could hold it in until she left. She wiped the tears as best as she could, but more kept pouring out. It isn't about that. Then what is it? What do you want me to do? Whatever it is, I shall do it. This was so hard. Why did it have to be so hard? Why did she even go here? Because she wanted to see his face. She wondered what it would be like for a cheater to go back in the arms of her lover. Would it change somehow? Did she still love him? How could she even tell? Yeah, it's the guy who wanted— yeah, it's her fiance. The guy who wanted to sleep— this is his room. We're in his separate room. Let's see. All her emotions were wrapped in a thick layer of guilt. It was hard to distinguish every painful thought. She started to sob now. Yes, indeed. Ugly, unflattering snorts came out of her nose. It felt comforting to hold on to guilt. Its existence made the hatred towards herself bite less. Kath, please tell me what's bothering you. I don't deserve you. I'm a horrible person. Oh my god. You ought to find someone— again, what does that say? Find someone else to marry. You ought to find someone else to marry. Catherine let the words tumble out of her mouth, slightly relieved to be rid of them. She looked tearfully up at Guillaume to gauge his reaction. I will drink water while you panic, Internet. Why wouldn't he say anything? Catherine sobbed, fearing the worst. Guillaume cleared his throat and spoke hesitantly. Could you, repeat that? He cupped his hands to his ear and angled it closer to her face. He apparently hadn't caught any of her heartfelt words. Catherine snarled angrily at him. You idiot! I'm having a breakdown here! But I didn't understand what you said. I said you ought to find someone else because I'm a horrible person. Guillaume pulled her closer to him. Oh, that's it? Whatever made you think that? Nope. Whatever made you think that I'll accept that reason? Catherine's tears soaked his shirt. You don't even know what I've done. Then tell me. You'll hate me, I guarantee it. Guarantee it. Did you punch a baby? No. The inside joke made her laugh out of We're just gonna go back on that guy. Boop. The inside joke made her laugh out of the blue. She buried her face in his chest in a half sob, half laugh. Totally tubular, dude. Suddenly her doubts were cleared. Suddenly she didn't want to marry anyone else. Catherine's arms tightened around Guillaume's waist. I've been taking you for granted, haven't I? I've been arrogant, expecting you to always adjust to me and my whims. A new fervor sprung out of her. Oh my god. A new fervor sprung out of her love for him. I don't deserve you right now, but I'll work on that if you give me another chance. First, she would tell him what she had done. Then it would be up to him if he still wanted her. He deserved that decision. What I did. But Guillaume stopped her with a kiss on the forehead. Tomorrow, after a hearty breakfast and a good night's rest. Are we gonna chill out, internet? Are we chill? We chill? We chill. I'll listen to what you have to say. Though I'm quite sure my answer will be the same. Catherine's face melted into a smile and he beamed at her. My star finally smiles. Catherine wiped her eyes. I love you so much. She sighed with content, part of her anxiety put to rest. I do. I really do. She whispered that last one under her breath, as if trying to console herself. Guillaume. Yes, dear? Will you make love to me? Guillaume's brows shot up in surprise. Jipoy, though. Right now? Yes. No? Well, if you're not ready, later is fine also. Or tomorrow? But since it's already morning, technically it's today, right? Fucking for real though. Oh man, you're not even ready. Not even fucking ready. First time I played this, my mind was completely fucking blown. Guillaume's head tilted slightly and the amused smirk plastered on his face. Can you guys hear the music in the background? Because I didn't even realize there was music. It's so soft. Soft. Let's go to options. Oh my god, that's really loud though. There's a mature filter on? What the fuck? Uncut raw footage. Oh my god. Guillaume's head tilted slightly and the amused smirk. Oh man. Just wait until I have to read the fucking sex scene in this thing. It's just like, it kills me. It kills me on the inside to read it every time. Guillaume's head tilted slightly and the amused smirk. The first time I read through it, I have the recording of it. It was just like to the point that I just started skipping it. It was like it just went into a tone that like only dogs can hear. Oh, it's about to. They're fucking talking about getting it on. They're gonna fucking get it on. Spoiler alert. But it's a total plot point also. So, and then it gets dark. You're gonna love it, Colonel. Guillaume's head tilted slightly and the amused smirk plastered on his face. Please take me seriously, Guillaume. This is important to me. I have to know. I have to make sure. Make sure of what? Catherine? Guillaume held her hand. I think you are tired. And just a little bit barmy. More than usual, I mean. I have a video of it. No, that's the second time I played it. The VOD is the second time I played it. That one had an even rougher sex scene that like I didn't know existed because it was from a different chapter. The first one hasn't been there. Oh, it's nothing graphic. It's all pure words. It won't get monetized if I were to monetize it. But there's nothing graphic on it. But this is what we will do. Yim guided the woman to the bed and sat her down. We're going to lay on the bed. I'm going to pat your hair until you fall asleep. I shall skip work today, having that trifling little talk you want. And as such, if you are still in the love-making type of mood, then, mademoiselle, I will take you up on your offer. Catherine's eyes moistened, but this time they were happy tears. I love you. Guillaume shrugged, and it's always so awkward for me to say I love you. I feel so awkward saying the words. Guillaume shrugged and lifted Catherine's legs up onto the bed. I love you too, and aren't you lucky? Save it. He climbed onto the bed beside her. Catherine draped her arm over him. Oh god. Torphy will tell you all about Torphy hates Guillaume. He searched her hand for her hand, brought it up to his lips and patted it. She closed her eyes and rested her hand. Oh, you got here right before the like really asshole conversation he had. I think Taco might have been here for it, but had a total asshole conversation while he was trying to court her earlier. She closed her eyes and rested her hand on his chest, comforted by the warmth of his embrace. Monsieur, can I... Monsieur, can I ask you something? Why do you love me so much? Guillaume mused for a while. Is that a trick question? It feels like a trick question. Catherine whined. All right, I shall humor you with a without a you heathens. I shall humor you for now because you are in such a pathetic state. I love you simply because it is easy to love you, darling. You are my star, my light. You keep me right always. It's back? There's only so much I can do about this guy. I didn't move anything though. I didn't do anything. Is it this guy? No, is it this guy? I feel like it's this guy. God, this is like when I was trying to get my charger to work again. Or like my headphones. My headphones are the ones that always break this way. What the push you in? Hold on. Nope, still there. Oh. It is totally the cable though, I could totally see it. Oh, I muted. GG. God, it is a real thing though. Fire ants 100% form little floats. They hang on to each other. Ants, incredible things. But they always warn you not to swim in floodwaters because of them. Because they just look like regular ass debris. Alright. See you later, Colonel. You're gonna miss the sex scene, though. Oh well. I can't do anything about it. I only have one cable. Rip me. I'll buy another one once, you know, the world's not ending in Texas. Snakes. Oh, we probably also have those. We have a lot of alligators and gators in the area. Also. It's a whole thing. There's a lot of things that pop up when everything's flooded. You make me want to do good by you, to be a better person. You aren't even my wife yet, but the townspeople are always calling you their lady. I may have a hand, you the Marquitas and myself. That is only because everyone in town knows who I am. Night, Colonel. Oh, I wonder why that is. Is it because you help sell vegetables in the marketplace on weekends? Or because you conspire with my cooks to hold impromptu picnics with the locals? Oh, and now the internet wants to get all weirdly? Of course you do. I'll take a drink of water then. I think I'll end it after this chapter. I'll feel awkward enough after this chapter anyway. Alright. Go for it, buddy. Or because you conspire with my cooks. No, I already read that. You know about that? One can only sneak out that much food without getting noticed, madame. It amuses the servants. It's amusing how the servants cover for you upon inquiry as well. It was my idea. They're not to blame. I know, darling, I know. Guillaume chuckled and kissed her temple. It goes to show how your presence uplifts everyone's lives, including mine. But honestly, those reasons aren't exactly why. I love you, Kath. I just do. Beyond what I thought was capable of. Catherine's heart cracked with his last utterance. If I did... God damn it, Iron Films. If I did something bad, would you still love me? Yes, I would. Are you sure? I'm sure. What if I hurt an innocent person? What if I hurt you? She bit her lip. What if I was unfaithful? Guillaume stared at her questioningly. Catherine buried her face in his chest. Yeah, they're in bed together right now. She felt his hand smooth away her hair. He whispered gently into her ear. If you would still have me, come back to me. Sure. What happened doesn't matter at all. You are not your mistakes, Kath. Guillaume cleared his throat. Suddenly, he seemed to be having trouble breathing. You have the power to change. How about you? If I told you that I am not what I say I am, would you? What do you mean? Never mind. It is a silly question. What? Is something bothering you, Shaw? Guillaume turned his head away and closed his eyes. Nothing, darling. We should sleep now. Catherine patted away the frown on his brow. She traced his cheeks with her fingers. Guillaume, I do love you, now that I am more than certain. It gives my heart happiness to know for sure. What reminded me was your generosity. You give every bit of yourself to the people you love. You do know that. Because I have to, darling. Well, you have always inspired me, Shaw. I have always looked up to you. You treat everyone, no matter their status, with kindness. Never have I met a man more generous and thoughtful about others. I'm so conscious of the static thing, though. I can totally see it happening. It's making me very conscious. I see it blinking. It's something. Is it up? Oh, I just saw it. It's like trying to unlock a safe. Okay, man. I can't do anything about it right now. It's not doing anything. So how about this? It has been about an hour and a half. I feel like that's sufficient enough. I feel like I can just... I feel okay just, like... Not, Let's see. Let's head back here. Let's see. Let's do a save in the same guy we usually do it on. Yep. Yeah, for sure. Alright. So, I'm gonna save it there. Right there. And so next time we come back to this, this is where we'll go. Let's head back to main menu. Yep. Oh my Jesus fucking Christ. I've saved you from having to hear it, but I haven't been able to save myself. Hold up. Oh my God, you're so loud. Oh my god, stop being so loud. There we go. Holy shit. That was so loud. Alright. I am going to end the stream here. Fucking your ears. I had to listen to it way longer than you did. I'm gonna end stream there. That's why I moved it down. Now I remember why I moved the audio all the way down. But yeah, I would like to thank you guys for watching, for stopping by. Thoroughly appreciate it. Yeah, music is murder. And, I probably won't be doing anything tomorrow. Really, honestly, depends on what the fuck this, hurricane's gonna do. I mean, according to all the warnings I'm getting, it's probably not gonna be the best day tomorrow. But, you know, we'll see. Anyways, I'll try and deal with this staticky problem. It's something to do with the cable. There's only so much I can do, right now. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to be nice to each other. Don't forget to be compassionate. I'll see some of you guys maybe later. We'll see if I'm not drowning or anything like that. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.